guys, Iain from RTO here. Welcome to a very special album review. Sadly last week we lost the drummer Rick Parnell, ex-Atomic Rooster of course. We will be doing Atomic Rooster. It's added to the laundry list, which is now the official title of the list of things that you guys have asked for. Atomic Rooster is in there. It was named by one of my subscribers, Charles, who contributes to this channel immensely. One of my big contributors, coming up with ideas of bands to rank and that. So he came up with the laundry list. He's also come up with Mastermind Dave. Very good stuff. So thanks, Charles. You have now named another thing on the channel. So today we are looking at something else that Rick Parnell was involved with. He was involved, of course, with the legendary Spinal Tap. Everyone should know what Spinal Tap is. If you don't, where you been? This is a rockumentary that was written and directed by Rob Reiner, Christopher Guest and Michael McKean. It's about a rock band from England, of course. Rob Reiner plays the director, Martin DeBerge, and Spinal Tap are David St Hubbins, played by Michael McKean, Nigel Tufnell, played by Christopher Guest, Derek Smalls, played by Harry Shearer, Rick Viv Savage, David Caff, who was the keyboardist in the 60s band Rarebird, Mick Shrimpton, played by the one and only Mr. Rick Parnell of Atomic Rooster, of course. Also appearing on the album is Harlan Collins on synthesizers, and John Sinclair. Now John Sinclair has played with quite a few people, you know, Heavy Metal Kids, Savoy Brown, The Cult, but is probably best known for his time with Uriah Heep. He recorded 3 albums with Uriah Heep when Pete Golby was singer, and he has played in Ozzy Osbourne's band. Now he's credited with styling the keyboard parts on the soundtrack. So talking of the soundtrack, which I've just dropped on the floor, one soundtrack that was brought at the time I saw the movie, when the movie came out. I don't think you can get this now. I've had this a long time. It's the legendary black cover, because the cover they wanted was Smell the Glove. It was a bit controversial, as in the film. So we've got a black cover, and of course I've also got the special edition of the movie. This is a great little package. The album is, it opens up and we have got bits of shark sandwich, allegedly when they appeared at the marquee. It's all very, very funny. Got some quotes from musicians and bands and journalists. And it's got all the lyrics, which we'll go through when we do the thing. So I'm going to just pick out a few quotes here. Now this one's from Crusher, rock journalist. He said, "In all my years of working for radio, I can honestly say that this record has never been requested." Jeff Barton from Kerrang, "The only heavy metal band with armadillos down their trousers." What else have we got on here that's worth looking at? From Girls' School, "It's good to know that we're not the only band that has trouble with sandwiches in the dressing room." This is from Ozzy himself. "To me, it's like a day in the life of. I didn't really make me laugh because it's real. Brittany Fox, Spinal Tap is the funniest thing to happen to metal music since the invention of makeup and hairspray. So, it is a great album. So let's have a look at these tracks. I'm going to keep this open because it's got some of the lyrics and I want to talk about them as well. Okay, first track on this is Hellhole. This has got some great drumming from Rick Parnell on this. But what really adds to this track is that Hammond organ that John Sinclair plays on this. It's a brilliant track. Then the second track is called Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You, which is absolutely brilliant. I love the guitar work on this. It's a great solo. Now, I don't know who plays it. I don't know if it's Christopher Guest or Michael McKean, but whoever played it, it is damn good. Then we get Heavy Duty. Heavy Duty. And it's got a great guitar solo in it. And the bass line from Harry Shearer, or Derek Smalls, is great. And then we come to Rock and Roll Creation. This is heavy. One of the heaviest tracks on this soundtrack. It's got some nice guitar solos, but the funniest thing about this is, if you remember in the film, they're in these like cocoons. They all open up except Nigel's. And they get crowbars to it, blow torches, you name it, they can't open it. And it opens on the last bit of the song. Absolutely funny. And I'm sure things like that have happened to other bands. It's just so funny. Then we get America. Now this is one of the songs that's supposed to be from their old, back in the day. There's so many bands this film could be about. It could be about Uriah Heep. It could be about Status Quo. It could be about Black Sabbath. But it pays homage to how they started and the different sounds. This is very Simon Garfunkel pastiche sound. Really good. Then we get Cups and Cakes. And this is, again, it's... I don't know if this is a parody on the Moody Blues, because it sounds so much like a Moody Blues song. Then we get Big Bottom. Great drumming on here from Rick. In the film it's hilarious. You've got Derek Smalls playing a double-necked bass guitar. I think the others are playing bass. It's just hilarious. There's some lyrics on this that are so funny. Let's see if I can find them. I'll find the track first. America's down there. Cups and Cakes. Big Bottom. The bigger the cushion, the sweeter the pushing. Then we've got Big Bottom, talk about bum cakes, my girl's got 'em. Yeah. Funny, hilarious. Sex Farm's next. Working on a sex farm. Great tune, funny lyrics. I don't know if there's any other funny lyrics in this. Where is it? I can't find it. Where are you? No, I can't read any of them out. They're quite rude. Still good little track. Great drumming as ever from Rick Parnell. He plays really well on this album. Then we get to my favourite track on this album, and it actually is one of my favourite bits from the film. We're talking about the Brilliant Stonehenge. We'll talk about the song first. It's very folky, folk rock, very Jethro Tull without flute. Love the mandolin in this, absolutely brilliant, and the keyboard is fantastic. But the actual scene in the film, it tickles me pink even today. They're all sitting round having a cup of coffee after the gig, and they're saying that the crowd's not getting in, and Derek comes up with the idea, why don't we do Stonehenge? Yeah, get the Stonehenge model and all that sort of thing. So David St. Hubbins scribbles down on a napkin, Instead of putting feet, he puts inches. And the next shot, you've got this designer and their manager Iain, played by the brilliant Tony Hendra, talking about it and saying, "Oh, this is fantastic. This is what it'll look like, the real thing." And she says, "Well, this is what you asked me to do." She says, "There's the management." She says, he said, "Well, this is, David doesn't know what he's doing." So next shot, you go straight into the film, and they've all got druids type thing on, and down comes this. It's only about this big, and part of the stage that you get dwarfs. I know you're not supposed to say, but it's got dancing round it, and everyone's going, "What the?" And afterwards, they have the discussion afterwards in a cafe. And it basically, we're in a bit, I think it's in a room, I think now, when I think about it. They're saying about that the only thing that was embarrassing, that the dwarfs were bigger than the Stonehenge, and they looked like they was going to fall on it. They have this big argument, and Iain storms off and says, "That's it, I'm off." And there was a bit of a silence, and then Derek says, "Can I just say something? Are we doing Stonehenge tomorrow?" David St. Hubbins turns around and goes, "Of course we're not doing fucking Stonehenge." And that's the end of the scene. Absolutely brilliant piece of acting as well. It was just, the timing was brilliant. Then we get Gimme Some Money, which I think's a parody of Rolling Stones. It's got that Rolling Stones feel to it. When David St. Hubbins is singing, he sounds really like Mick Jagger. Quite a good little track though. And the last track on the soundtrack is a thing called "Listen to the Flower People." Now this is sort of two bands that come to mind when I watch this: Jefferson Airplane and my beloved Status Quo, when they were Flower Power. It's just so funny. They're dressed like Status Quo, but it sounds like Jefferson Airplane. It's quite brilliant. Very, very good. Amazing soundtrack to a very, very funny film. It's one of my favourite comedy films of all time. What I do like about it as well, I mean, I like the film Still Crazy, but there's only Jimmy Nowell that can play on that. On this, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean and Harry they can play guitar, which is fantastic, and they record all the stuff on this album. Amazing. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.5. Okay, that's not the end of it, because Rick Parnell was involved in another album put out by Spinal Tap called Break the Wind, and again Michael McKean, Nigel Tufnell, Christopher Guest and Harry Shearer play on it. Obviously Rick Parnell does, and on this they get CJ Vanston to do the keyboards, but on here there is a guests. Jeff Beck, he plays on this. Cher sings on this. Steve Lukather plays on this. Joe Satriani, Slash, Timothy B. Schmidt, Tommy Thunderberg, Waddy Watchow, Dweezil Zappa, Eric Stumpy Joe Childs, the blow that was playing on in the film, because he's one of the drummers that blew up in the film, he plays on this. Nicky Hopkins, Louis Conte. Great little lineup. What a coup. First track on here is called Bitch School. Rick's drumming's cool on that. It's a good song as well. Then of course we get the Majesty of Rock, that was released as a single, and it's the song that they played at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert. And it was when Derek says, "Tonight we've cut our show by 50 minutes because Freddie would have wanted it this way." And Got a great laugh, very, very funny. Diva Fever. This is an amazing track. It's a heavy rock track. Great drumming from Rick Parnell. And a fantastic guitar solo from Dweezil Zappa. What a guitar player, just like his dad. Then we get Just Begin Again. Now this is a nice ballad, and it's a duo between David St Hubbins and Cher. Absolutely stunning. Then we get Cash on Delivery. Brilliant drumming here from Rick Parnell and Derek Smalls. They work really well. What they were tight as like you can get. Really good track. The Sun Never Sweats. Great track, some great riffs on this. Great drumming from Rick as ever. Now, there's a track on here called Rainy Day Sun. Now this is the opposite of Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon. Or Sunday Afternoon, I can't remember what it's called. In the summertime. It's very much like this, but they call this Rainy Days. Yeah, it's quite good. Then we get the title track, Break Like the Wind. It's brilliant. You get all these great guitar players playing on this, all having a great time. Great stuff. Next track is a blues track, and it's called Stinking Up the Great Outdoors. Yeah. And then we get Springtime, that's pretty good. Clam Caravan. Very Who-like that is. Yes. Then they put a Christmas song on here. It's got Timothy Schmidt doing the backing vocals, and the guitar is Steve Lukather. Pretty good. Then we got Now You're Leaving on the track. It's pretty good. And then the last track on this is a song that actually should have been on the soundtrack, because it's called All the Way Home, and this is the first song that David St Hubbins and Nigel Tufnell wrote when they were 10 and 11 years old. It's quite funny. It's a great little track, and I'm glad that it's actually been put down on vinyl. So there we are. That's just a little mention that Rick played on 2 albums for Spinal Tap. There is a third, and it's called Still Not Dead. Rick doesn't play on that, but what it has got on it is the Jazz Fantasy, which is just, I don't know if it's taking the Mickey out of jazz, but it's everything that I say about jazz. 15 musicians all playing different tunes, and it's got re-recordings of some of these classics. They're all right. Okay, that's all this week for the shows, but tomorrow we have a live stream to celebrate the first anniversary of RTO. Got some. I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but it'll be a bit of fun. Bring a beer. That's one thing you must bring, is bring a beer. And also tomorrow I am doing a show with a fellow YouTuber, Richard McCook, and we will be doing our favourite songs by Mick Chapman, what he wrote for other people, of course. So I don't know when that will be actually on his channel, but I will let you know, and I will make sure there's a link so you guys can watch it as well. Okay then, I will see you all tomorrow at 8 PM for the birthday bash. Busy day for me tomorrow. Recording a show, doing the live stream, cup final day as well, so it's all good tomorrow. So see you all tomorrow. Take care for now.